I'm here to tell you a very important announcement. It's election day in America, and KISS has voted to keep us at sea for 4 more years. Boom. First thing we do is the KISS Army is going to run the ship for the next 4 years. The second thing we're going to do is in the comedy show at 7:30, each member of KISS is going to take turns punching Craig in the face. So go to the Stardust Theater at 7:30.
We're making fun of you back there. Hey everybody, I'm Craig Gass. Thank you for letting me be part of this. It's been a great time. We're all family now. We've all gotten to know each other pretty well, some of us intimately, on KISS Cruise 6. And now it's the Q&A. We are ready to get started. So please welcome to the stage, Tommy Thayer, Eric Singer, Gene Simmons, and Paul Stanley. Ladies and gentlemen, KISS!
Hi everybody, how you doing? Yeah. Paul Stanley. Hey. Gene Simmons. And Tommy Thayer, birthday boy. How about we sing happy birthday to Tommy right now? Let's go. Didn't we do that last night? And we're doing it again. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, dear Tommy. Happy birthday to you. Guys' voices are getting low. Gene turned into Kermit the Frog over here. Let me hear that voice, Gene. Happy birthday to you. Got a lot of fans here ready to talk to you. And first up, our first question. What is your name, sir?
Presley.
Presley, where are you from?
North Carolina.
Presley from North Carolina. Say hello to KISS. What is your question?
Hey, will there be another KISS Cruise next year?
That's a great question. We are doing KISS Cruise 7. It starts November 5th, goes out to November 10th. We are going out from New Orleans. We are hitting a couple of really cool ports in Mexico we haven't been to. And we're going to really mix it up. If you love this one, we're already planning the next, and I promise you, we've got some amazing things planned for you. If our new president will let us.
Great question, Presley. Thank you. What is your name and where are you from?
Hey guys, my name is Michael Cavaccini. I'm from Philadelphia, PA.
Never heard of you.
Michael, what is your question?
Alright.
Nice shirt, by the way.
Thanks. Great man.
The Dives, everybody.
Yeah. Woo!
Good shirt.
My question is, considering how amazing the band is acoustically, what are your thoughts on doing a new studio album, recording all original material that's purely acoustic?
Well, you know, the beauty of having an amazing drummer is that, you know, Eric is awesome. I think that if and when we do another album, it should certainly feature some instrumentation that we don't usually do. If we were going to do another album, we wouldn't want to do another Monster or another Sonic Boom, but we'd love to do another KISS album. And to not feature these bombastic drums would be insane. So if we do it, you can bet there'll be drums on it.
Thank you, Michael. Good question.
Really? What did I do to deserve that?
What is your name and where are you from?
Michelle from Chicago.
All right. Congratulations to your Cubs.
Go Cubbies. And what is your question, Michelle?
Okay. What would you put into your time capsule for your great-grandchildren to unearth?
Money.
You already did that. It's like, what else?
Wow, that's a good question. I would You want a corny answer or the real answer?
The real answer.
In case, okay, the real one is, in case it disappears because of despots, dictators, and all that stuff, so mankind doesn't forget, I put in the Bible. And then the silly answer is, I put in me.
Well, it's kind of the same thing, right? God and God.
Great question. Thank you, Michelle. Next up, what is your name and where are you from?
Hi, Chris from Minnesota. Minnesota.
What is your question, Chris?
Question is, what band do you wish you had seen live that you never actually got to see?
Paul, you saw the bands. We didn't get to.
I wish I had seen the Beatles live.
Yeah, I never saw them live either. I was literally working and drove by the Warwick Hotel. I mean, I was in a bus and I saw all the kids outside. I'd heard of the Beatles. And then when they played Shea Stadium, I literally was coming home from work and saw all the commotion, saw the fans inside, and continued on the train station. I never saw the Beatles live.
I would say the Beatles as well. I'm going to see Ringo next week, actually. So I'll see a little bit of taste of Beatles.
Eric?
I'd have to say Jimi Hendrix.
Great question.
You know,
He changed guitar playing forever, for everybody.
actually, I think it's fair to say that maybe my biggest wish, because I've never seen them live, is to have seen Kiss. I've never seen them.
Actually, I have, because when I fly out to that little stage,
Yeah.
What is your name and where are you from?
when I fly out to that little stage and I look at them, I go, they need me, and I fly back.
What is your name and where are you from?
This is Bob Jacobs from Connecticut.
Are you saying that like
This is Gene Simmons from Kiss.
what is your question?
What is the funniest thing you ever saw happening in the crowd while in the middle of your show?
That's a great question.
The funniest thing.
What gets your attention at this point?
Fornication. Not a joke. Wasn't me.
One guy, I mean, it was kind of weird. One guy took his leg off, brought it up, and threw it up on stage for us to sign. You know, I mean, it's an honor, but at the same time, you know, you just don't expect to see a leg up on stage.
That was actually put into one of our videos. That's true. We stopped the concert and hopefully this guy was leaning on somebody and we signed his leg.
Eric, from your vantage point, do you see anything crazy happening?
Yeah, I see a
You know what that guy's name was? Who took his leg off? Neil.
Actually, I watched Gene. He's pretty crazy to watch all night. Actually, I think one of the craziest things I remember, first time we did a convention tour in Perth, Australia, in '95. And, hello Perth. Some guy asked Paul, can I have one of your chest hairs? And Paul's like, okay. So the guy had a little glass bottle and Paul plucked one of his chest hairs and put it in the bottle. I swear to God. Wow. You remember that?
Yes, I did.
That was crazy.
Have you ever heard Craig Gass's imitation of me? It's so horrible.
Well, there's two. There's offstage, which is, you know, very mellow. And then there's onstage. All right, people!
Stick to
Thank
Gene.
you. All right. What is your name and where are you from?
I concur. Oh, sorry.
Eric from Sarasota, Florida.
Eric from Sarasota, what is your question?
For all four of you, who was the biggest bass influence for Gene? Who was the biggest guitar influence for Paul and Tommy? And who was the biggest percussion influence for Eric?
Gene, go ahead.
Well, it's clear it's McCartney because he literally changed the way modern bassists worked, you know, within the confines of a rock band. So he wasn't so much a rhythm instrument. If you study string quartets, the cello doesn't just go dun 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 dun. It has its own melody. Ba, da, 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 da. So if you listen to songs like Going Blind and stuff like that, the chords are going but the bass is going Of course I can't sing, but the point is that the bass isn't really trapped to the chords or the drums.
And do you know why, Gene?
Why?
Because he used to put the bass on last sometimes, right, Tommy?
That's right.
And the record.
So after he would put the bass on, so all the other parts were done, and he knew how he wanted to fill the holes.
Right.
Leaving a big joke open there.
You know, I was influenced by a lot of different guys, obviously, but the one guy, probably more than anything, and these guys know this, and he never quite got his due 100%, was Ronnie Montrose. And that was probably one of the main ones. And I gotta be honest, you know, Ace is a big influence on me as well. So.
Sure.
Eric?
Well, my dad used to take me to see a lot of big bands when I was a kid. Count Basie, all that, Buddy Rich Big Band, Louis Bellson. So I was more influenced by those guys, probably Buddy Rich the most. And I know I play nothing like him, but still, he's my drum hero.
And Paul?
Jimmy Page. The beauty of Jimmy Page is not only that he's a great guitar player, but also somebody who always plays and pushes his ability to its limits. And he's also an amazing arranger. Always a great producer. Before Zeppelin's album came out, the first one, there was a band by Jeff Beck called Truth. And it was great, but when you heard Led Zeppelin was symphonic. So Jimmy's understanding and creativity has always been just mind-boggling. So he just continues to blow us away and blow everybody away.
That's a great question. Thank you.
I want to add one thing to it about Jimmy Page being a producer. When people think about like George Martin, all these great producers, Jimmy Page never gets mentioned, and he produced all those Zeppelin albums. I mean, he's the guy.
Thank you, Eric.
Great question. What is your name? Where are you from?
I'm Alex from Tasmania, Australia.
I gotta say, when I was growing up, I thought it was a made-up, you know, I'm fairly well-read, but until I was 12, I thought it was a made-up country. The only way we ever heard of Tasmania was Guess How. You know, that Bugs Bunny thing.
Tasmanian Devil.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, question. If you each had to pick your hidden Kiss jam, what song would it be?
Our favorite song or hidden gem?
Hidden jam.
I was gonna say Anything for My Baby. I've always loved that song. We played it on the Kiss Cruise a couple years ago, and I love the way, and I'm not just saying this and stuck up to him because he's sitting right here, but I love the way Paul sings it. I wanna steal! Good, great attitude on that book, on those vocals in that era of the band, and Dress to Kill, and Hotter Than Hell. I love the way he sang.
It is interesting to see when the boat rocks, all your heads move at the same time. Like wheat fields, you know. I have no idea. What hidden gems? Eric.
I'm not telling you. Well, actually, it's not a hidden gem. My favorite Kiss song is Do You Love Me? I know it's very simple, but to me that song always typified the Kiss sound and attitude and style and vibe of what Kiss is about. You know, Gene always said Kiss stands for Keep It Simple, Stupid. You know, like four on the floor. And to me, that's what that song is all about.
Paul?
Craig, I'm still thinking about Craig's imitation of me. If life is a buffet, Jesus. You know, you only get one chance. Holy cow.
I'm working on my Eric Singer impression.
Let's hear it.
All right, it sounds like Tracy Morgan.
Hey everybody, I love LeBron James.
I hit it, Jen, Paul.
I don't really think.
No, it does sound like him. He sounds like a 12-year-old kid who smokes cigarettes, yeah.
I think gems don't go undiscovered. And I think the songs that have kind of sunk to the bottom, I mean, apropos of being on the ship, but the songs that are forgotten deserve to be forgotten.
And Gene, are there any songs you're thinking of?
Really? Have you heard Cadillac Dreams?
We heard it last night, didn't we? When we were doing the photos last night, and Cadillac Dreams came on. And I go, Paul,
Barfitz Burn. Wow.
You wanted the best.
And you got the best.
I've
Wanted the best.
You got the best.
I've got nasty habits. It's a fine line. So many girls and so little time. When love rears its head, I want to get on your case. I want to put my log in your fireplace.
That's fucking poetry. It's like, hello, baby. This is the Big Papa.
Let me see. You know, I was actually
Say,
surprised.
what's the one about like butter? Like hot butter.
Fits like a glove.
That's a gem.
That's a gem.
When I go through her, it's just like a hot line through. You should have been with us when we're recording. They're going, oh boy.
How about no, 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 Gene? That's a
Not as good as Boomerang. I would say I was surprised actually when we did Quick Song. We rewrote the lyrics and everything, and Ezra was there. It was a sad time during the band, but I'm surprised how well God Gave Rock and Roll came out. I still listen to it. I think it's a good version. I'll tell you another one that I think strikes me.
You know why,
as-
Gene?
Why? Because you were there.
Because that was my first Kiss track.
That's right.
settle down.
But I would say that the biggest surprise is, quite honestly, I've never been a Ramones fan, but we appeared on the Ramones record, and I thought the version that we did of Rock and Roll Radio, it rocked. I really liked it.
And just to clear the record, that's only Paul, Gene, and I playing on it. Paul did all the leads and all the guitar.
And interesting, Johnny lived down the street from me, and he said to me, that's what we would hope to sound like. He thought the song was just knocked out of the park.
I thought it was cool. And ironically, Bob Ezrin was in the other studio producing Jane's Addiction, and he came over and he goes, oh, I know the saxophone player from Pink Floyd. He had him come down, and I called Derek Sherinian, and he came down and did the keyboards, but it was Paul, Gene, and I that did it.
Wow.
Great question. It's great answers. Thank you. What is your name? Where are you from?
I'm Robin Archer, and I'm from Fort Smith, Arkansas.
Right. What is your question?
Hey, this is a twofold question for each of you. At this stage of your career and your life, you have achieved greatness, okay? In essence, wealth, global notoriety, and a huge fan base following. What are your personal and professional goals from here on out?
Personal, professional goals.
What voice was that, Craig?
I'm sorry, I meant to say.
Personal, professional goals.
What are your personal and professional goals from here on out? Pow!
I can't do that.
Personal, professional goals.
I think we're doing it.
So living it.
Well, look,
Exactly.
let's call it for it. When you're, young, dumb, and when you think you got it all figured out. You think it's all about me.
So what's changed?
Welcome to the roast of Gene Cemetery. The roast of Gene.
Gene gets it from me every day. How much do you get it from me, Gene?
Eric,
I get a lot of
didn't he
attention.
just come out with a book? Gene.
Yeah, me incorporated.
That's correct. You have an inferred fiduciary duty. But truthfully, as you get older and you get I never envisioned, you know, I'd be in a family or I have kids or I have Shannon or any of that stuff. And then, you know, when you get to your mature years and stuff like that, you realize it's less about you and more about leaving this place a little bit better than when you came into it. Maybe we should all think of it that way.
Anybody else want to tag on that?
And good night.
All right, good night. What is your name and where are you from?
My name is Allison, and I'm from New Jersey.
Allison from New Jersey. What is your question?
Which accent?
I can still see the look of horror on my father's face when my Donny Osmond poster came down and my Kiss poster went up. What about your parents? What was their reaction when they saw you guys in full makeup?
Well, you know, every parent's dream is to come and see their son with red lipstick and high heels beating off a guitar on stage. You know, my parents, they learned early. From then on, it was, you know, nothing shocked my parents after a while. I remember once we were talking about somebody I was point, and I said, you know, she's blonde and she has big boobs. And my mom goes, they all are blonde and have big boobs. So nothing surprised. Actually, Jean's mom was funny because the first time she saw us, she came backstage afterwards and she said to me, Stan, because my name, Stan, I love the orchestra. Which one were you?
That's actually true. We rehearsed and did a show for the press January 7th, 1974. A few days after we debuted at the Academy of Music, fourth on the bill, before our first record came out. And it was the Fillmore East in New York, and the press was there, and a few kids and stuff. And after we played, my mother started to walk down the aisle towards Paul, thinking that was me. And I had to yell, you know, my mother's Hungarian and stuff. Mom, over here. And she had to go to the other side. She didn't know which one I was.
Just in case you didn't know ahead of time, Jean's mother used to call me the bum.
She still does.
But this bum made her son very rich, and she likes me for
Great question.
Yeah, she didn't want me hanging around with him because he didn't have a job.
Chaim, the bum is on the phone.
Gene was the king, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I called Jean's house once, and I go, hey, is Jean, can I speak to Jean? And she goes, the king is on the throne. And I go, well, that's very nice, you know, but can I talk to Jean? The king is on the throne. And I'm like, great, you know, it's just like, you know, are you giving me some signal? Or you telling me? Oh, okay, now let me speak. I told you the king is on the throne. And finally I figured out he's taking a dump.
What is your name and where are you from?
Hello, I'm Nancy from London, Ontario, Canada.
Nancy, do you have a question for the king?
I do. What are the top 3 things from your bucket list that you would like to accomplish, do, or experience before you don't have the capability to do it anymore?
Who?
Anyone.
I want to, you know, I'd like to be blessed enough to see all my children grow and to see what they become, because really as you get older you realize that the best thing you can do is make your children a better version of you, make the world a better place, and there's nothing more important than being a great parent. That's a responsibility we have, and if we're lucky enough, we get to see, you know, it's like you plant a garden, and if you're lucky enough, you see the, you know, what blooms, and nothing gives me more joy than seeing my children daily and watching who they're becoming. Great, and it's like being at a buffet. I love my kids.
That sounds more like Pacino in Kiss.
Boy, do I love my kids.
What is your name? Oh wait, I'm sorry. Gene, you guys.
You can't, you know, say anything after that. It really is about that. Sooner or later, you got to step aside and let someone else take charge of the planet. And you want your kids to do a better job of it than you did.
Agreed. What is your name? Where are you from?
I'm Angie and I'm from Calgary, Canada.
Angie's from Calgary. What is your question, Angie?
What's your most memorable and least memorable tour and why?
Most memorable tour, least memorable tour, and why?
Boy, the least memorable is probably also the most memorable. It was the Creatures of the Night tour because nobody was there. So, I mean, so help me, you know, we put out this great album, Creatures, over time has become a real classic. But at the time, it was, you know, we were in a state of turmoil and there was a lot going on in and outside of the band. And we went on tour and were shocked to see empty arenas. And it was a time for us to reassess and trim down all the people we had around us and rethink Kiss. So for me, the Creatures of the Night tour, although it wasn't a happy time, it was an important time.
It's worth noting at the same time that hardly anybody showed up in America, we played our largest shows ever in South America, specifically Brazil and everything.
Brasil.
Belo Horizonte and Maracanã in Rio. And there were lots of people, over 100,000 at these shows.
What is your name and where are you from?
Hi, my name is Angel Corbel and I'm from Sudbury, Ontario, Canada.
Your name is Jaja?
Angel.
Angel, I beg your pardon.
Angel, what is your question?
It's a question for Gene, Eric, Paul, and Tommy. If each of you could be someone else for one day, who would you be?
Jesus.
That wasn't a reaction.
The day after.
Jesus.
I said that.
I was wondering I'm trying to figure out what's going on there.
God.
I know you already are God, so you want to be the son of yourself. Is that what it is? Okay. Just trying to get to the psychology over here.
I'd probably like to be president of the United States just for a day, see what that's like. And that's relevant today, obviously. We'll have to see what happens tonight.
Eric? You could be any president.
No, not really.
And Paul?
I'm happy.
Good question. Come on up. What is your name and where are you from?
I'm Bob from Rochester, New York.
Rochester in the house. What is your question, Bob?
What's the most embarrassing moment for each of you occurring on stage during a performance?
That's a great question. Most embarrassing moment that happened on stage during a show.
Well, you know, the
Real hibachi.
Yeah, how long do we have?
How about in the early days, we literally would play almost every single day. We'd get into a station wagon, we made $75 and then $85 per week. Get into a station wagon, we'd fall asleep, 2 in the back and 2 in the front, and the road manager would drive. It was very tough. And you'd barely have enough, you know, you'd pull over and poop where you could or stuff. And often we'd have to get on stage, just barely make it there, put on makeup, get on stage on time early. So the other people didn't know about it, but I was sure embarrassed. So between having cooties jumping off of my eyebrow, and I think one of you saw it, I literally had crabs for the first time in my life, but they loved me. Oh boy. It was like a field house. They were literally putting makeup on, and one of the roadies comes in and says, "What the fuck is that?" They just jumped off your face, and it was huge. This cootie was so big.
You didn't have crabs, you had lobsters.
This thing had a saddle on it. But literally, I saw it fly off of my eyebrow. So you can tell it was all over my back hairs, between my legs, the gateway to hell, it was all over the place. So now, we barely get on stage on time. And you had to, because we were opening shows and stuff like that. So I think it might have been Thunder Chicken. And I had to go. And you couldn't do, there were no drum solos or anything to do that. And so a little bit, you know, groundhog, a little poop shoe, just a skid mark.
A shirt?
It happened. And of course, we only had one pair of leather outfits, and they had to clean it. And because it was filled with sweat and poop and all that stuff, they had to then dry it, you know, on the, literally on the things that made it hot. What is it in the room? Not the air conditioner, but the heater. Radiator. And then the thing would be able to stand up on its own, the leather pants. I'm serious. Then they'd have to put like camel hump, duck butter or whatever to make it soft again. I would smell like not good.
We did.
We should have Gene answer last in every.
We're all gonna leave and go have a bite to eat.
I shit my pants.
That's the short version.
You know, a couple of funny things happened this summer on the Freedom of the Rock tour. Gene actually, he fell over. On stage. Couldn't get
Like a
back
turtle.
up. Took four roadies to get
I had the best view. It was great. From here,
Someone's yelling out Montana. Did something happen in Montana?
I think so.
Oh, that's where you found it. Eric, any funny memories, embarrassing moments on stage?
I can't think of anything offhand right now. I mean, looking at Gene is pretty funny. He's entertaining. I'm telling you.
Well, we heard the story. Paul, any embarrassing moments or funny moments on stage that stand out?
No?
No?
You actually took a spill this tour too.
Yes. I don't think I've ever, I don't remember any time I ever fell. And this time,
I gotta say, in the corner of my eye, I'm playing, and in the corner of my eye, all of a sudden I see Paul like he's going over.
but I do it cool.
No, you did. I was gonna say. It was the worst thing, because at first I was like, oh my God, he just fell over, and he just looked like he hit his shoulder, but he rolled, and he got back, he was right back up again, so it was like very smooth.
Tuck and roll.
Yeah, you know.
And Paul, haven't you gotten stuck over the crowd before?
I started to get stuck. You feel like a piece of laundry, you know. Hello, how are you?
Yeah, Anaheim, they both got stuck. I was at the show, 2000. You guys both remember you got stuck coming out. I was in the audience. Gene got stuck about this high, his feet from the stage when he flew, and then you went out about 1 foot over the crowd. You got stuck right there. Anaheim, 2000.
Scary.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Well, that was a great question. Thank you. What is your name and where you?
Well, we kept playing it for us, so obviously it affected us. As we liked it. What do you think, Paul?
I agree with whatever you said.
I gotta be honest here. When we talk about doing songs for the Kiss Cruise, it's like we have to twist their arms to get these guys to do these songs. Right?
Yes. Tommy will come up with stuff, or Eric will come up with stuff, and I must be Scrooge. I just go, no friggin' way. No way. But no. Did we do good this tour? And did we do good this set list here? This was cool. There's always somebody who's going to go, oh, you didn't go deep enough, and we try to cover as many bases as possible. So I think I thought this was the best set list we've done.
What did you guys think of this indoor set list tonight? Thank you.
We're always concerned. Hey, let's play something nobody has ever heard. Yeah, but they won't know it, and then they'll have to sit on their hands. And so that's always the concern of making sure you're happy. So here's a decent question. You've been asking us these questions all night. So give us a sense. What do you think we should be playing in future sets on the cruise?
That opened up a can of worms.
Larger than life!
Launch it the light!
Ladies room? All hell's breaking loose? Nowhere to run.
Nowhere to run.
We just had 4,000 songs.
You said go to hell. Played that last night. You don't want anything. Got love for sale. What do you want to hear?
She says, I want to hear you to sit down.
Next up, what's your name? Where are you from?
Rockin' in the USA.
From Mexico. What is your question?
Eric, will I marry you?
We're still in international water, so you won't get arrested.
She's 22. She's 22.
Oh, you know.
How old are you?
22.
I told you.
You're good to go, Eric. And very lively.
I have a question for Kiss, and if you have to perform your last concert, where would you do it and why? And what song would you play?
Last concert. Where would you want to play your last concert?
I would like to play the Vatican. I would. And I would like to end with God Gave Rock and Roll to You. And I would like to see the Pope rock out. And I have a photo, so help me God, of the Pope going like this.
He loved Ronnie James Dio.
He was saying I love you, that's I love you in sign language.
It is.
True.
That's true.
Anybody else? Paul, Tommy, Eric, last show, where would you want to play?
Where would you want to play, Paul? New York, where Kiss is from.
Madison Square Garden. What is your name and where are you from?
John from New Jersey.
John from New Jersey. What is your question, John?
From the beginning of Kiss up until now, is there any song that you can think of that you would change anything about? Maybe write differently today, lyrics, music, etc., as opposed to how it was originally written and recorded?
Wow. I think that when we first started writing, at least for me, the writing came very quickly. And when you don't know the rules, you don't have to follow them. So there were a lot of great songs in the beginning that I wish I could still write like. As time goes by, you learn more about the craft of songwriting. Sometimes it takes away from what you originally had. Songs like Come On, Love Me, those songs were written in probably 20 minutes, and I couldn't do that now for anything. Anything that was on those first bunch of albums, I wouldn't change anything about it. I just think they're terrific.
And to answer, to further go into this for a second, is you didn't think twice about stuff, you just sort of did it. So I wrote a song called Little Lady that was then changed to Going Blind. It was about a guy and this little lady from the land beyond the sea, you know, just words that kind of felt ethereal and stuff. Little lady from the land beneath the sea, and Paul is in the recording studio, you know, while I'm singing, he goes, "Hey, why don't you say, I'm 93 and you're 16? I'm going, oh, okay. Well,
since when do I sound?
Okay, Craig, you do it.
Why don't you say I'm 93 and she's 16? Oh yeah!
So literally, a young lady walked up to him and she says, "What the hell does that mean? I'm 93." I don't know. Paul said, "Why don't you
ask Paul? You know, it's
yeah.
cool."
It means nothing. It means Paul thought, "Hey, that sounds cool. Sing it in there." That's really how it happened. It has nothing to do with the song. I'm still going, what? 93, you're 16, and then what?
Wait, no, you're singing. You're so much younger than I.
Yeah, 100 years difference. That's different.
So what's changed?
It's a great question. We are down to 4 more questions. 4 more questions. What is your name and where are you from?
Kiss Mom, New Mexico.
The Kiss Mom is here. From New Mexico, everybody. Kiss Mom. What is your question, Kiss Mom?
What are you going to do when you retire?
Die.
Oh, well, there you go. Quick answer.
I'll tell you what. when we retire, I'm very lucky to have Shannon there who kicks my butt, makes me get up at the crack of dawn. We go hiking, we do stuff. I'm going to be more active than I ever was. You want to go, you don't want to go quietly into the sunset. You want to go kicking and screaming. And when you see the finish line, don't slow down, speed up.
I know this guy. This is the belly flop champion. Not this year. Andy Moyne, everybody's favorite belly flopper. Andy Moyne, how are you, Andy? What is your question?
I'm from Boston, so hey, would you guys ever take the makeup back off and go on tour?
Well, we sort of do that because before most of the shows we do anywhere from half hour to an hour unplugged. And just kind of fool around with you guys backstage and enjoy being together. So that's kind of like that.
Thank you, Andy. What is your name, sir, and where are you from?
Kenny Bagley. Wait, hold on. His name is not Kenny. It's Kenny. Kenny?
Okay, this. Wait, you're saying his name's not Kenny? It's what?
Kenny fucking Bagley.
Kenny fucking Bagley.
Who's on your T-shirt? I know Paul. Who's the other guy?
Him.
It's him.
You're on your own T-shirt?
I ran out of space on my lawn. I like the picture.
I thought I was the only one that did
too much Kiss stuff on my wall. So
Genie's just like you. He loves himself and Paul.
It's a great shirt. What is your question, Kenny?
This is for Uncle Genie. With all the shows that you played for over 40 years and all the fire that you spit, have you ever had any kind of oral issues with flammable liquid or accidentally swallowed? Keep it clean.
Keep it clean. Did you hear his poop story?
I heard yours.
True. Good point. All right. Let's not talk about it. No one's supposed to hear about that.
You mean have I ever swallowed the pencil?
Yeah. Have you ever had any medical problems with maybe internal?
No, not as far as I know. But I did in Denver, and I caught. Anyway, I had a mouthful of stuff, and for some stupid reason, I swallowed most of what was in my mouth, and I didn't think anything of it and spit it up the show. The doctor that happened to be there said, we're taking you to the Poison Control Center in Denver because within 2 hours all kinds of bad stuff happens. The kerosene, that's what it was then, would block the oxygen from getting through the bloodstream. All kinds of stuff can happen, including heart attack and who knows what else. So I go in there quickly and I'm having stuff, and the doctor says, here, drink this. It's called Ipecac. Now, for those of you that have never had that, and go, oh, that's fine. He goes, just drink this glass of water. Within a half hour, I was peeing through my ass. I'm not joking. Just anything, like everything was coming from all there. Teary nose was running. Everything it never felt so dehydrated. It was horrific. And the doctor says, don't do that again. It's dangerous. You can die. So I tried not to.
My God. Frightening. This is our last question. This is it. We're wrapping it up. This gentleman, what is your name and where are you from?
Mike from Baltimore.
Mike from Baltimore. What is your question for Kiss?
This is for each of you. What is the one rock and roll song that you wish you would have written?
Any one song that you're envious of that you wish you had written?
Thank you. Good night. Go ahead, somebody.
Maybe I'm Amazed by Paul McCartney.
My favorite song of all time, some people think, is When You Wish Upon a Star. And I love that so much because it applies to everybody. And maybe it's a good clue to all of us. It was written by a comedian, a guy named Charlie Chaplin. It begins with the title of the song, and that's the very first word, and ends with the title of the song, it's the very last word. It's called Smile. Smile though your heart is aching, smile though your heart is breaking. And then at the end, it just goes, just smile. Good piece of advice.
Will you cry for us?
Argentina.
Cry for me, Argentina.
You know, I'd probably say Rock and Roll by Led Zeppelin.
Paul, I thought you said Hold On to 18.
That was number 2.
Paul, any one song that you wish you had written?
Stairway to Heaven.
Great song. Well, that is it, guys. Thank you to Gene, Paul, Tommy, and Eric. Thank you again for letting us do this Kiss Cruise, a wonderful get-together for all Kiss fans.
Thank you.
And thank you for letting me be a part of it. I'll see everybody at the comedy show in 1 hour in the Stardust. And thank you to Kiss for putting up with me. Thank you.
How about